Have you ever noticed how the most powerful empires don't fall because of the enemy outside, but because of the betrayal within? That's exactly where Foundation Season 3 Episode 9 leaves us. And trust me, what happened in this chapter isn't just a twist, it's a warning. A warning that the empire itself is about to crumble from secrets buried deep inside its own walls. And let's be real for a second. Who else here thought Episode 9 was going to be a simple setup for the finale? You know, a calm before the storm. Yeah, me too. But instead, we got one of the most sinister and game-changing episodes of the season. If you blinked, you probably missed half the clues. If you didn't blink, well, you're probably still trying to piece together what the hell just happened. So let's rewind. The title itself, Jumped In. Strange, right? It's not just about alliances or schemes. It's about who's willing to leap headfirst into the fire, knowing they might not make it out alive. The episode's message is brutal. In order to survive, you have to commit fully. No hesitation, no retreat. And almost every major character in this episode takes that leap, some into power, some into betrayal, and others into their graves. Now here's the pain point nobody's talking about. Foundation has always been about the tension between logic and faith, science and destiny. But in Episode 9, we see something darker: the failure of trust. Every relationship, husband and wife, ruler and subject, ally and enemy, is fraying at the edges. And if there's one thing we know about empires, it's this: once trust is gone, collapse isn't far behind. But wait, let me throw a question at you. Who do you actually trust in this story right now? Hari Seldon with his manipulative genius? Demerzel with her mechanical loyalty hiding an emotional storm? Or Brother Day, whose grip on the throne feels more desperate with every passing hour? Honestly, I wouldn't hand my wallet to any of them. And yet, these are the people holding the fate of humanity in their hands. Terrifying, isn't it? This is where I'm going to say something bold. Episode 9 might secretly be the most important episode of the season. Not Episode 1, not the mid-season climax, not even the finale that's coming. This episode. Because Jumped In, every mask slips, every hidden agenda begins to show its teeth, and the audience, that's us, finally sees how fragile this so-called eternal empire really is. But here's the forbidden knowledge no one dares to admit. The assassination attempt on Day back in Episode 7. That wasn't the biggest threat to the empire. The riots, not even close. The real danger is already inside the palace. It's sitting in the same rooms, smiling the same smiles, playing the same game. And Episode 9 just cracked that door wide open. And before we dig into the heart of this, I need to stop and tell you this: if you're new here, this is the exact channel where we pull back the curtain on shows like Foundation, Stranger Things, and The Gilded Age. We don't just recap. We expose the secrets nobody else dares to talk about. So if you want to be ahead of the game before Season 3's finale hits, hit that subscribe button right now. I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll know more than the characters themselves. Alright, let's talk about Demerzel. Because if you ask me, she's the ticking time bomb of this entire episode. For seasons, she's been the quiet, loyal servant of the Cleans. Calm, calculated, robotic. But Episode 9, we see the cracks. The way she hesitates, the way she lingers on her words, the way her mask slips for just a second. And in a story where hesitation means death, that second is everything. Now, let me hit you with a theory. What if Demerzel isn't just a servant bound by her programming? What if she's already found a way around it? That little flicker of doubt, that slight pause when she could have acted faster, I think that's intentional. A test. And not just for herself, but for us. To see if we notice. To see if we're paying attention. And if that's true, then the most dangerous enemy of the Cleans isn't Hari Seldon, isn't the rebels, isn't even the Second Foundation. It's the machine they've trusted all along. Let that sink in for a moment. The servant has become the master. But it's not just Demerzel. Brother Day's paranoia in Episode 9 reaches a new high. You saw it, right? The way he lashes out at everyone, even those closest to him. It's not the confidence of a ruler. It's the desperation of a man who knows the walls are closing in. And when leaders get desperate, history tells us they do two things. They either crush their enemies in one final bloody move, or they burn everything down with them. Which one will Day choose? That's the nightmare Episode 9 leaves us with. But here's the twist you probably missed. While all eyes are on the throne, the real action is happening far away from it. Hari Seldon, forever playing his long game, is laying seeds in this episode that don't just set up the finale. They set up the future of the entire series. Watch closely, and you'll see how subtle his moves are. The way he positions his allies. The way he manipulates the rebels without them even realizing. Hari doesn't jump in blindly. He makes you think you've jumped when in reality, you're already standing exactly where he wanted you. It's chilling. And that's where I'll leave you for this first section. Because if episode 9 taught us anything, it's this: the greatest danger isn't the obvious one. It's the danger you don't see until it's already too late. So let me ask you, whose mask do you think will crack first in the finale? Drop your theory in the comments, because I'll be reading every single one of them. And if you thought this was intense, where I'll reveal the hidden clues buried in this episode that hint at a betrayal so shocking, it could flip the entire series upside down. Let's step deeper into the chaos of Foundation. Because here's the real problem nobody wants to say out loud. This story isn't just about the collapse of an empire, it's about the collapse of truth itself. Think about it. Hari Seldon built his entire reputation on the certainty of psychohistory, the mathematical prophecy of human destiny. But here's the pain point: if psychohistory is so absolute, then why does it keep failing in small, terrifying ways? Why do people like the Mule even exist? Variables that Seldon supposedly couldn't predict. Isn't that proof that the system is flawed? And that's the controversy at the heart of Foundation Season 2 and Season 3. Fans are split in two camps. Some say Seldon is still the genius who foresaw everything, while others argue that he's just another manipulator, hiding behind numbers to bend humanity to his will. Which side are you on? But here's where the secrets start to creep in. Let me drop something that feels almost forbidden. What if psychohistory was never meant to predict individuals at all, but to control them? Look back at Hari's actions. He doesn't just run simulations. He interferes. He leaves holograms behind at strategic points. He builds mythologies around himself. He practically turns into a religious figure. Does that sound like a neutral scientist to you, or like someone writing himself into the fabric of time? And this leads us to the biggest hidden flaw of all: the second Foundation. Supposedly, this secret order was created to guide humanity back onto the right path whenever things veered off course. But if they're pulling strings from the shadows, doesn't that mean free will is an illusion? Doesn't that mean we were never meant to choose our destiny in the first place? Imagine it. Entire planets, entire civilizations, thinking they are fighting for survival, for freedom, when in reality, every decision they make is nudged, corrected, and manipulated by hidden minds. It's not a story of rebellion. It's a story of a cage so big you can't even see the